Okay, Wyva H asks, are you aware of MRSA strains? I had to look it up in Wikipedia, so I could try to say it. Methicillium resistant staph aureus. It's basically, the way I understand it, inside the hospitals, a lot of people are contracting. They go in there and it's like my father was in the hospital and they was afraid that he had contracted some staph, some infections that go into your lymph glands and into your body and are resistant to a lot of medicines, and they because they're in the hospitals, they're passed around. I mean, you go in the hospital and you get sick because you're in the hospital, right? And one of the things they said is you need a lab test to know what these are. This is real tough. I mean, yes, I'm fully aware of it, and I had a sinus infection, and I don't know what that was, but it was in my head for many years. And when I was in Guatemala with Bob about, I don't know, 3 years ago, I took a series of medicine every day for almost a month and a half, and I got rid of the sinus infection. It was just a reoccurring pain in the head, and now it's really, I haven't had a problem with it in a long time. I don't think I have one, but your lymph glands are here, right? So what happens is infections are, there's always probably an infection in your body, the way I understand, and him or her wants me to be aware of or watch for swollen lymph nodes. I was getting swollen here, and I realized I was allergic to canned mushrooms. As you get older, you become more allergic to different things, and I might be a little allergic to milk, which is, I'm still drinking some milk products. But canned mushrooms, I pretty much stop. I can almost take a can, boom, my throat swells up, but it's a different type of reaction, right? As far as getting lab tests and all these things, I mean, maybe I'll go to the Philippines, or, you know, it's not a bad idea that I go get some lab tests. In certain places, I mean, I got some lab tests in Guatemala and Lago Atitlan, and I got lab tests in, there's a really good place in La Union and up in Luzon in the Philippines where they got like there's some really good hospitals in the Philippines that are for soldiers, American soldiers, and the American the American soldiers can go to these hospitals, and they're certified for the American soldiers. And each appointment costs $10, and it's really a great way to do this. And then you can get lab tests and whatever. But normally, there's lab tests, there's labs all over the place, but they can sometimes be inexpensive, and sometimes they can be very expensive. And the question is, do they really know what they're doing? I mean, it's not as easy as just saying they do it. I think if I really wanted to get lab tests a lot, I probably would spend a lot of research and go to the Thailand. Thailand is kind of like a first world nation at third world cost. I mean, they are amazingly modern at a very low expense. The Philippines is, you know, like a landmine. You're going around and you're trying to figure out how to find a cheap place, and they speak English, but one guy will tell you $500, the next guy will tell you $50. You know, it's just no rhyme or reason. They tried to really rake me over in the Philippines, and that same hospital in La Union or San Fernando, it's up by Baguio and stuff on the shore. They tried to get me, the surgeon tried to get the surgeon and two of these guys, and it's going to cost me $1,000 to remove this lump in my back. And I went to Guatemala and they did it in the office for $35, I think, with an American girl nurse watching. So, go figure. But I got a MRI because they had the machine in the Philippines for $150, but they didn't have the machine in Guatemala. So, they didn't have the machine in Lago Atitlan. You know, one of the best way to do this is to just get a good idea what, you know, the hard thing is people don't really know what these things cost. And then they're going to go buy it. They might be able to buy it for the same price in America. Trying to get I've called up, I wanted to know how much a hip replacement cost. And I talked to many, many people that had hip replacements, and almost none of them have even a clue how much it cost. And I think there's somewhere between $6,000 and $24,000. So that means that if I'm going to get it done in Thailand, I got to get it done at $3,000 or something, right? But there's no way, unless you know exactly. You need to, one person's insurance is going to spend $24,000, the other one's going to spend $50,000, the other one's going to spend $10,000. And it's going to be the exact same thing, but it's kind of according to how the insurance paid and how they did it. So you really got to know somehow the going price of these things before you go over there. And that is really tough. I really want to know about hip replacement because I broke my leg in my femur in a motorcycle accident, and the hip bone's got some problems, and it's loose, and I may eventually need to have a hip replacement. But I need to know what a good price is, right? And you really, I'm sure that many Americans go overseas to get medical work and pay the exact same price as what they could have got it done in America. And I think you could walk into a hospital in America and say, hey, I'm going to give you $7,000. And some of them would take it. It's because, but it would take a lot of talking before they would do it. Because I really like the open paycheck method, right? Whatever they want to add to the bill goes. My mom's still getting bills for Dad. It's just crazy. A shot can cost $600. One cancer treatment for him was costing, I don't know, $6,000. So he's in the thing, and they put a sack of chemicals in there, and it costs $6,000. And they got 35 of them in the room, right? Okay, 20. The one in the parking lot had 30. Yeah. The other one in Angola only had about 10. But you're sitting there going, $60,000? Hey, for some sack of chemicals being put into your vein intravenous, it's just not right. Something. It's like getting in a plane. I got in a plane going to Urumqi, Bolivia. And they told me the plane cost $12 million. And I sit there and I looked at the plane and thought, give me some machine shop, a couple guys, $12 million. I can build this plane. Easy. And you think about it. I can build a plane. It's just metal, right? You just can fabricate every part for $12 million. We could put... They tried to do the same thing in Fort Wayne on a commercial building. They wanted $45,000 to put in electrical, water, and gas into one room because of a commercial building. And I said, I can put a guy in here and have him work 2 years installing the electrical, plumbing, and thing in the room and work for 2 years. I said, $45,000 a room? Come on. But sometimes there's open ticket type things, and a lot of the we need to think about this. But do I know about this? Yeah, I know about it. Do I really know what to do about it? No, because I don't even know the words in French, right? And I don't know the words in Spanish, and I don't know the words in Thai, and I don't trust the Philippine people, and it just goes on, and it's just a series, and I don't trust the American doctors. So if you don't trust the American doctors, can you imagine how you can't trust these other countries? Everybody likes to get you on the open ticket payroll, and when you start getting too serious about asking prices, they do it. But I do. I get right in their face and ask them how much. And I got a good friend that's Jeff that out Weston that I married in Austin, Texas. I was the officiation for his wedding, and I try to ask him the prices. He don't know. He don't tell me. I can't get anything out of him. Really got to push to get it's like they're told not to tell. Never talk the price. But everything medical should have a price. A tonsillectomy, everything should have a price. They've been doing them for too long to not know how much the going price should be and what a good price is for just a standard operation. Okay, Andy Graham, thank you. Good question.